Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. This is part 2 of my bread experiment. If you haven't seen part 1, I will put a link below and you can check it out. Okay, here is the yeast mixture that I did in the first video. Now, I used 1/4 cup of this mixture to make that loaf of bread. And it worked perfectly fine. And this is 1 package of yeast in 1 cup of water, with warm water, with a tablespoon or 2 of sugar. I don't remember exactly. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can activate it to make another loaf of bread. I've got 3 tablespoons of flour here because I'm going to make a little starter. I've got, I'm going to add in 4 tablespoons of this yeast slurry along with a 1/2 cup of water. So, and a quarter, 4 tablespoons would be the equivalent of a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to put some sugar in here. So we're going to mix it all together and we're going to see if it will activate this and turn this into a starter for my new loaf of bread. Okay, now all I've done is I shook the jar of yeast slurry. That's what I'm calling it, for lack of a better word. So, and I think that's pretty thin. I'm going to put in, I put 3 tablespoons in. I'm going to put in probably 3 or 4 more tablespoons of flour. All right, I added 3 more tablespoons. You can see it's thickened it up quite a bit. Now, I'm going to set this covered up in a warm spot, and I'll check back with it in about an hour or so and see what we've got. Aren't you excited? And I forgot to mention, just so you know, this yeast slurry mixture is now 3 days old. So, just thought you might want to have that information. Okay, it's been a little less than 30 minutes. So let's see what our starter looks like. And don't forget exactly what I put in this bowl to get some starter for a new loaf of bread. Or, honestly, a loaf of anything I want to make. Can be rolls, can be sweet bread, doesn't matter. I just want to show you what we have. Let's see here. Okay, look at that. It is working. Oh my gosh, I am so happy. What is my reason for doing this? You may ask, and I will tell you. My reason for doing this is that in the past I have used sourdough starter, which sometimes is a pain in the neck. I want to have a starter that I can use repeatedly or continuously without constantly having to feed it in a traditional sourdough way. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so here we are. Now let's see what I can do with this. I got to set up my camera because I'm on my camera phone right now, so I'm going to set up my camera and let's see what kind of delicious baked goods we can make from this and how far we get. Okay, we're back. I have my camera set up to make life a little easier here. Okay, what I have put in this bowl, and don't forget the experiment continues, what I have put in this bowl is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Actually, this is self-rising flour because that's what I happen to have. I put in about, a teaspoon or so of salt, and I put in a tablespoon of sugar. Now, what I plan to do, I plan to make some dinner rolls. So, and I don't quite know what direction I'm going in, but I do know that for dinner rolls, I want my dough to be more tender and to be a little sweeter. So, here I go. I'm going to put in my yeast starter. This is awesome. And it's got kind of that boozy smell, kind of like sourdough does, but it's less so. It smells really boozy when you smell it in the jar, but when I added these things to it, it's less tangy. So I'm hoping that this works. Now I'm estimating this at maybe, I don't know what, cup, more than a cup, I'm sure, of liquid. So I'm going to put that in. I have an egg here, and to the egg I'm going to add in, it's one beaten egg, I'm going to add in some olive oil. Let's beat that in. I'm going to add that. And I'm going to add in, this is about a cup of milk that has been warmed in the microwave. So, going to mix it in. I may not need all the milk because the egg adds liquid volume, the oil, the starter, of course. Now, I've started with 3 cups of flour. If I have to do more than that, I will. This dough is going to be probably a little more tender, is my guess. Now, I may not need all this milk, but let's put a little more in. And normally, I would raise this, do the first rise in the oven with the oven light on, but I've got something in the oven right now. So, it's going to have to sit out. But I'll just tuck it in a warm place. I could probably put it on my microwave there. I'll tuck that in right there, and it stays pretty cozy up there. So, get this going. I don't think I'm going to add any more milk to this because it's pretty wet. Listen. Don't be afraid. You like how I always tell you to listen? Don't be afraid to, what they say in construction, build as you go. It's an as-built. Don't be afraid to just make your recipe or whatever as you go. After a while, you will develop an instinct for certain things. And it'll creep up on you. You won't really know for sure that it's there, and then all of a sudden you'll think, hey, wait, I think instead of doing that, I'm going to do this. And your instincts will prove right. So don't be afraid of that. Just go for it. And you know what? How bad can it be? That's how I look at it. How bad can it be? And you're going to have some failures. That's fine. That's okay. We learn by our failures. But don't be afraid of it. Because preparing food is just one of the most creative things there is in the world. Look at the variety of foods and types of food that are available in this world. It's amazing. So, I'm not going to mess with this too much. I'm just going to put a towel over the top. I'm going to tuck it up here in this warm spot above the microwave. And I'm going to let it rise until hopefully it's doubled in size. I have a lot of hope for this. Now, this is how much milk I have left. So that milk is, and I can use some of this milk to, when it's done, to brush the top of the dough before I put it in the oven, in which I probably will do that. Okay, all right, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is going to rise until hopefully it's doubled in size. I don't know how long that'll take, but we shall see. Okie doke. Let's see what we've got. I think that did pretty good. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Now it's still sticky, but you know, a sweet dough is more tender and it's going to be a little more sticky. It's got milk and it's got an egg in there. So I am going to put some flour on the counter here. And turn this out. And we're going to knead it. Now, my knowledge is, limited though it may be, that a dough of this type, you should not over knead it because you don't want to make it tough. So, other kinds of dough, I think, can probably take, you know, a little more rough treatment. So, I'm going to be a little bit gentle with this one. This dough feels very nice. Feels very soft. Very good. So I'm just going to be gentle with the dough. I was thinking while the dough was rising, what kind of dinner rolls I want to make. And I think I know. I'm going to make some cloverleaf rolls. So I'll show you how to do that method. It's kind of neat, really. Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. All right. Now, what I have here is not a failure to communicate. Remember that? What we have here is a failure to communicate. Okay, I have a muffin pan, and that's what I'm going to do the clover leaf rolls in. And why are they called clover leaf rolls? Because they have 3 sections, and The idea is that once they raise and bake, they kind of look like a 3-leaf clover, right? Okay. So, get you down here so we can see how this is done. All right. So, I'm going to make some dough balls. And I have to make, because my muffin tin has 12 sections. I need, if I'm correct, I need 36 dough balls. That's what I need. And I'm going to attempt to make them the same size. Otherwise, what happens is one side will raise higher than the other, and they look distorted. They look like crazy 3-leaf clovers, right? So, I'm going to do my best. So, I don't want to be too rough with this. I don't want to be mean to it. So I'm going to do 36 dough balls, and then I'll be back. Okay. I didn't get 36, but that's okay. I was hoping to get an even dozen. Now then, I have taken melted butter previously, and I have brushed the insides of the muffin tin and the outside as well, because if some of the dough rises above the little cup here, I don't want it to stick to the outside, okay? So this is all you do. Let's see if I can show ya. You just take 3 of the balls and you put 3 balls in each cup. Can you see that? That's all you do. You just tuck them in there. You don't have to press them or anything. These small balls might be a little bit large. Maybe I might have been able to get 36 out of them. I don't know. But regardless, we're going with what we got here. So, and that's it. So you ever see those cloverleaf rolls in the store? You know, you buy them in the for the holidays. You get them a lot of times for the for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. Well, now you can make them yourself. Isn't that exciting? If I have enough here, I'll show you how you can do one that is just half. Maybe we could do that. Let's see. Yep, I think we'll be able to do one that is like a half size. All right, see these? So I'm going to take one of these, and I'm just going to put one on one side, and I'm going to put one on the other. So look, see? Now, you know those dinner rolls that, or Parker House rolls they call them, or what? I think that's what they call them. And they're half. Look at that. That should come out as half. So, there you go. That is it. I was going to brush these with milk, but I'm going to brush these with a little bit of olive oil on the top, and cover them with a towel. And by golly, by gum, I think they should do pretty well. I bet you can't go to any other channel and hear by golly, by gum, can you? I say old stuff because I'm old and I know old stuff. By golly, by gum. I don't even know what by golly, by gum means. But hey, let's go with it. All right, there we go. Now listen. I'm going to ask you, please like, subscribe, and share, because everybody needs to know how to do this stuff. And don't forget, this is the second phase of my bread experiment. I almost said experience. Well, it's an experience. Okay, these are going to be put in a warm place. They're going to get covered up. And I'm going to come back when they're ready to go in the oven. Okay, let's take a look. They've been in there about an hour and a half in the oven with the light on. So, actually, they look pretty good. Now, they should lift a little bit when they're baked. Right now, I'm preheating the oven to 375 degrees. I'm going to put these in for 12 minutes to start. And then after that, we'll see if they need longer. Okay? All right. In the meantime, I'm going to put the cover back on and wait till my oven preheats. Okay, I want to show you this. Now, these have been out of the oven for a while, so they're plenty cool. And all I did was, when I brought them out fresh, I just put a little butter on some paper towel, and I wipe the butter over the top of them while they're still hot, and that keeps the tops soft. So, what do you think? These are cloverleaf rolls. And you know what they're like. You just pull them apart. Cloverleaf dinner rolls. You might know them in the store as brown and serve, but believe me, these are much, much better. Now, see this little half one here? Remember, I just had those 2 balls left, so I put this one in. Also, because this was empty and I'd already buttered the section, I put a cupcake cup in there, a paper liner in there to absorb some of that oil so that it wouldn't get icky. I mean, it's icky, but it didn't splatter or smoke. Okay, so let's open this one up because we want to see what they look like. So there you go. That's what they look like inside. They are really very lovely. I'm going to put some butter on this and I'm going to taste it. They're very nice. Now, if you were to open up the cloverleaf roll, the inside would be just like this. See? So you can make these ahead of time. You can freeze them and just pull them out as you need, or save them for one of your holiday dinners, and you can make them yourself, and everybody will say, "Oh, you didn't make those yourself, did you?" And you can say, "Yes, I did." You can do it, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. And this is the second installment of my yeast experiment. So I want to see if that yeast slurry how long I will be able to use it. I'm going to leave it in the refrigerator for a few days. I'm going to feed it just a little bit, but add more water to it, and let it proof again. And I'm just going to see how long I can use that 1 packet of yeast. I think I'll be able to use it for a long time. I'm very encouraged by this. Okay, let's have a bite. Those are good. These were baked for 12 minutes at 375, by the way. They're really good. They're tender. There's a tiny bit of sweetness to them because they're a dinner roll. You want your dinner rolls to be softer and tender, and that's what these are. They're delicious. All right. Okay. That's it for today. Thanks for sticking with me on this. I'm going to finish eating this roll, and then I'm going to have some dinner. How do you like that? All right. I love you guys. You know I do. And you just remember, as always, that little is much when God is in it. All right? Okay. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.